Yes?
Is Iestyn in, please?
You mean Mr. Evans?
Would you mind telling him I'd like to speak to him?
Mr. Evans has had to be in London, seeing lawyers.
I know, but he was supposed to be coming back last night.
Well, he's resting after his journey. Can I give him a message?
Yes. Tell him Angharad called and couldn't get in. And would like to have an explanation whenever he's got a minute to spare.
Miss Morgan, then, is it?
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was about the bill for the wreaths. If you'd like to wait, I'll tell Mr. Evans you're here.
But will there be enough?
God, yes. Ample. Well, think what this place will fetch for a start.
You can't mean you're going to sell Tinnacoid?
Yes, of course. I mean, you didn't think I was going to hang on to it, did you, once the old man was gone?
But I'm sure Father took it for granted we'd stay on.
15 years, it'll be unsaleable. Imagine that view once the terraces creep a bit higher. Nothing but miners' cottages and lines of washing. Not to mention the tip.
We could plant more trees.
You can't shut out the coal dust or the noise. And you can never shut out the way those people feel about us.
Mr. Iestyn.
Yeah?
Angharad Morgan is here. And if she tries to make out that I was stopping her coming in, I thought it was the girl from Philbrice's. And no blame to me for that. Anybody might have thought the same.
All right, Nicky. Show her in.
Would you like me to go?
Please yourself. Stay and meet her first, though.
Miss Morgan.
Angharad? Come on in, Rosebud. Blodwyn, this is Angharad Morgan, of whom we've often heard me speak, or more accurately, babble. Angharad, my sister Blodwyn.
How do you do?
It's very nice to meet you, Miss Morgan. Iestyn has told me so much about you.
I've said that already. It's your fault. You're making her nervous. She always talks in cliches when she's nervous. Come and sit down.
Thank you, but I think I'd rather stand.
Oh, dear. Well, Blodwyn, if you're waiting your chance to make a timely exit, I should make it now. All the signs are she's going to erupt. You wouldn't want to get hit by falling lava.
Well, if you'll excuse me, then...
I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
I've just seen the announcement in the Times.
Yes, I rather gathered.
I'd like to know the meaning of it.
What I would dearly like to know is who on earth in the Morgan household takes the Times.
Oh, so you thought I wouldn't see it?
Obviously.
Well, what was the point in it? Did you really think you'd be able to marry me without me finding out?
My finding out. I was correcting your grammar, Rosebud. Perhaps not the best moments for it, but one has to peg away at these things.
To hell with my
Look,
grammar, why?
Come and sit down.
No, I won't.
You will. Oh, bloody well. Come and sit down. Now then.
If you don't let go, I'll scream.
Is that supposed to frighten me? That's better. Now, you're going to listen.
Of course I am. That's what I came for, isn't it? Oh, how stupid you are.
Oh, how stupid you are, Iestyn.
Never mind making fun of me. Why did you put lies about me in the paper?
It wasn't a lie, it was the truth. It's a bit premature, that's all. The idea was that I would come home, I would say, marry me, and you would say, yes, please.
What made you so flaming sure that I would say yes at all, let alone yes, please?
No, well, of course, I am a very good catch.
You're the most conceited person I've ever met.
So, when you allowed me to roll you in the heather and take other liberties, which we won't go into, I was surely entitled to think that your intentions were honourable.
I think you're horrible.
Ah, but irresistible.
Oh, you've changed.
That's right, I've got power now. I feel considerably enlarged. I even feel magnanimous. So let's do the thing properly and get the matter settled, shall we? My dear Angharad, I am bewitched by your wild beauty, and unless I can call you mine, all my wealth is as dross. Will you marry me?
Why did you put it...
No, I asked my question first.
Oh, all right, but why did you
Excuse
put
me,
it...
just so there should be no more mistakes. Oh, all right means that you will marry me.
Yes. I suppose so.
Good. Now then, you were saying?
Why didn't you ask me first, before putting it in the paper? I mean, where was the hurry?
I'll tell you if you like. It may not please you very much.
Go on, then.
Well, I was in London, you see, and I'd fallen among lawyers and aunts and other prudent people. And they thought you were a bad idea. I was afraid of losing my nerve.
Perhaps you ought to have listened to them. Perhaps you'd be sorry.
Oh, no doubt. Repent at leisure. Most married people do, I believe. But it'd be even worse if I didn't marry you. I'd never get you out of my system then. So that's why I decided to cross the Rubicon. Not that Miss Angharad Morgan has ever heard of the Rubicon.
I'll have heard of it by tomorrow, because I'll ask you.
Ah, so that's where you pick up your smatterings, is it?
I know more than you think about lots of things.
About lots of other things, we have vast areas of pitch-black ignorance. Is it also Hugh reads the Times, by the way?
No, Yanto and Owen. They bought all the London newspapers, looking for jobs.
See? Well, we must do something about your dressmaker, too, by the way. God save the mark. Whoever made those things you're wearing ought to be shot. Who was it?
Me.
Ooh. Well, you will be reprieved if you promise never to do it again.
Easy enough. Hate sewing anyway. Some things about all this are going to be very nice.
Splendid. Only you shouldn't be looking at the fireplace when you say things like that. You should be looking at me.
So, where's Angharad then?
Taking her off to Newport in the trap.
Oh, it's still on then.
They're like that all the time. Kiss and scratch, kiss and scratch.
Only the night before last.
I know. She was calling him all the names she could lay her tongue to. And you know, when he dropped her outside the front door, he G'd up the horses before she could get her foot to the ground. She nearly went flat on her face. And you know, he never even looked back to see was she all right.
Oh, no.
What do you think about it, Dad?
Well, I don't know, indeed.
Worried he is. Yet he used to be the one to stick up for the Evanses when everybody else was blackguarding them.
Well, the old man has his point, see? Like, for instance, he always find a man a job when the dust got to him. Not like some, just throw them out. But this young one, man, well, I don't know. They're going at everything so headlong, man. Not giving themselves time enough to spit.
Have they fixed a day yet?
No. Gone off now for another fitting in this new shop. And you watch. She'll come back here again, loaded up like a Christmas tree. Well, I tell you, Bron, you want to go upstairs there and see what's there already. There's frocks, shoes, hats, petticoats, gloves. There's boxes and parcels piled up and flowing out under the landing.
Well, are you getting anything for yourself then?
Well, I thought I would have my grey silk turned and get some new braid for it. And then just get a nice new hat.
Oh, it's very nice.
Will his people be coming down for it?
Well, he hasn't got much close relations. He only had one sister.
What does she think of it then?
Well, you know, I've never talked to her. There's not many that have. The old man used to keep her pretty much squashed down by all accounts.
Where will they have the reception? Tinnacoid, is it?
I think so. Oh, but they don't try to have it here. Your mother be spinning for a month.
Don't suppose they'll have the ceremony in Calvaria now, will they?
Oh, no, it doesn't look like it. The vicar read out the banns in St. David's last Sunday.
Well, it'll be much better, really, because of poor Mr. Griffiths. I was standing right next to him when Mrs. Price came up to him after chapel and asked him what he thought of the engagement. Splendid, he said, but, oh, God love him, you could see it in his eyes. I could have cried.
Oh, damn! Going on?
I can certainly do some help, yeah.
What do you need all out?
I just want to get rid of it.
Not that if it breaks.
No.
Come on there. Right, you got under there, put you. Hey! Having a good turnout, is it?
No, there were some insects underneath it.
Never bugs.
No, silverfish.
After all new now then?
Well, what I was considering, come in, see what you think,
Yes.
was polishing the floorboards and leaving it bare.
Ooh, bit of a job there, boy.
Yes, need emery paper.
Well, that's right.
Looks like a what's name? What do you call it? Monk's Place.
Monastery.
Monastery.
Still, it'll soon fill up, though.
Oh, there's people with plenty of place like Bach to give away, you know, pictures, vases, that sort of stuff.
Bit of cocoa matting down here. Tablecloth.
Oh, no, I've got everything I need.
Wobbly.
Well, yes, I was thinking of replacing that. I thought I might get some timber and do it myself. You know, spend a lot of time on it, make a good, solid job of it.
Now, what's the idea like? I mean, having it like this?
Oh, well, it saves a lot of time, doesn't it? Cleaning.
Whoa, they never let you, man.
Who's they?
Oh, damn women. They'll be buzzing around here like flies. Frilly curtains, fringy cushions. Them bits of velvet with bubbles on you pin on the mantelpiece.
Well, I was hoping if I could fend them off for the first few weeks, they might get used to the idea and gradually give up trying.
Mr. Griffith, they'd never give up trying, man. The only place a man is safe round here is down the pit. I reckon that's why we've been half-soaked about pushing for the 8-hour day.
You see, they never succeeded in breaking you in, Di.
Oh, that's because there's two of us, see? That's a secret. You know, me and Camartha, we're the only ones round here, apart from a couple of old widowers, who never let a woman in through the front door in the last 10 years.
That's right, Mr. Griffith. You need anyone to look after yourself, any tips at all, you just come to Di and me, see.
Hey, I know a fella let you have some timber for the table, and he won't try and look you neither.
Wait a minute, I know we can get a lathe for turning the legs on. Owen Morgan's. Now he's gone to London, there's no one using it, see.
Hey, there's some stuff going in that house for a girl of theirs, aye. You know, they pile more in there than he would put it out by you.
Yeah, I might use the lathe later on. Yeah, how are you coming on with young Hugh, by the way? You still giving him lessons, are you?
Oh, he's down to once a week now, see.
Yeah, he's coming on pretty fair, isn't he, Di?
Are you still giving him lessons, Mr. Griffith?
Nah, well, nothing regular. But he drops in now and then for a chat, to borrow a book, you know.
You know, I reckon between the two of us, we made a good job of that boy.
Oh, yes.
There's not much he got to learn now that anybody around here can teach him.
Will she be having bridesmaids?
I don't know.
Does Mr. Evans come to your house to call for her?
Sometimes.
You?
What?
When he's coming to your house and he's going out again and she's seeing him to the door, does he give her a kiss?
I don't know.
Well, you live there.
Yeah, but I'm not watching them, am I? Look, what do you want, Kindman? Are you following me or what?
No, I was going down that train wheel.
Well, go on then. Stop hanging around. Two.
Gareth, you know, Bronwyn's boy. Oh, he looks sweet.
Too young.
Rubbish.
Listen, Angharad, I don't want any of this inane tribal ritual. I'm being manoeuvred into it by a whole phalanx of grisly kith
Who
and
are
kin.
you calling?
I freely admit that mine are just as grisly in their own way as yours, but one has to draw the line somewhere, otherwise we'll end up with Di Bunder proposing the toast and Gibraltar obliging with one of his scatological songs. What do you want?
You rang the bell. I thought you wanted something.
Yes, so I did. How about some tea?
I should think you could do with it, indeed. After all the shouting coming from here.
We'll be thankful when all this is over and we can sell up and move out.
Sell up what?
Why, this, all of it.
Sell to Nacoid?
Oh, don't you start, please. I've had enough from Blodwyn.
Well, where would we live? There aren't many houses like this round here.
I don't want to be round here. I detest the place.
But then how will you be able to run the colliery?
Can you see me running a colliery? Oh, the old man, yes, it was the apple of his eye, but me he wanted made into the second-rate image of a gentleman, and that's roughly what he got. Now, of course, I shall sell the colliery, too.
Do you mean we'll never come back here?
I shall make damn sure I never come back.
Can I talk to you a minute?
Well, yes, of course. Won't you sit down? Oh, I'm sorry.
About the wedding.
I'm afraid you've come to the wrong man.
Have I?
Yes, Mrs. Morgan. I don't know what your query is, but it's the vicar you should be speaking to. It's a church wedding.
I don't think I am coming to the wrong man. Angharad is doing that.
I don't think I'm capable of discussing this.
You told me he's heard her crying in bed.
Maybe he was wrong. Maybe she was fatigued. Maybe she was overwrought.
Oh, Mr. Griffiths, none so blind as those who won't see.
I don't know how it is with her. All I can do is hope and pray that she is and will be well. I pray for that every night. I'm the last man in the world to make a rational assessment of the situation. If you know enough to come and talk to me like this, then surely you must realise the truth of that.
Perhaps I can see more clearly then, because I've got nothing to gain either way.
We have absolutely no right to interfere.
I wonder.
After they're married, I've seen it happen over and over again. Marriage is a most powerful sacrament, believe me. We must trust in God to find a way of working out His will. And they have everything to smooth their path. Youth and health and freedom from any real hardship. And I cannot believe that anybody could live with Angharad and not be better for it.
So you are throwing it all on God then?
Yes, surely. I can think of no better way.
But you don't preach that to the men. You don't say lie down under wrong things and trust in God. You say stand up and fight, because God can only work through us and what we do.
In this case, there is nothing I can do.
Go and talk to her.
What then? Bronwyn, I am a middle-aged man who has nothing to offer her. Because I never was the way she saw me. No, it would be monstrous selfishness. it would end in misery and remorse.
I just thought I'd come and try.
Yes, I understand that. And I understand that you did it for Angharad's sake.
Partly for Angharad's sake. I suppose it wouldn't enter your head that someone might want to do something for your sake. Oh, well. So, leave it then, you think? I hope you're right.
I hope so too.
Only the terrible thing that keeps running through my mind is like Margaret. She went to the wrong man and she thought she was doing the sensible thing too. And God never found any way of putting that right.
Oh, did you say when he'd be back?
I'm afraid not. Did you want him for anything important?
No, just felt like getting out the house.
I would have thought it would have been a very happy house.
Oh, yes, it is, most of the time.
Won't you sit down for a bit? Would you like some lemonade?
Oh, yes, please.
Are your people happy about the engagement?
Oh, yes, they're very pleased for me. Everybody keeps congratulating them.
Nicky, could we have some of your nice lemonade, please?
How many?
Just 2.
He's gone off then, has he?
Mr. Yeston is out, yes.
How long has she been here?
Always. She was our nanny, you know. A nursemaid. She brought us up. Mother was never very strong and she died when I was 6.
Oh, I see. That's why you're afraid of her.
Afraid of... What a strange thing to say.
Well, not afraid exactly, but you always fall over yourself to stop her getting cross.
I'm not a very brave person.
I don't know, you put up with it. Between her and Yeston.
Well, if you think this is hard, what do you think will happen to me now?
I don't know. What then?
Yeston's selling this house. I lived here all my life and now he's turning me out.
Oh, I never thought about that side of it.
No, I never.
It would be easier with it in the middle, wouldn't it?
Maybe it would, and maybe it wouldn't. But up to the present, Miss Morgan, it's my place to take orders from Mr. Yeston and Miss Blodwin. Nobody else.
I wasn't giving orders to anyone. I just said it would be better by year, and so it would. Don't worry. One of us could easily shift it. We're not helpless.
All right, Nicky. Thank you very much. That's lovely.
Shall I?
Yes, please. You see, it isn't really worth causing unpleasantness after all these years. Especially for such a short time.
Where will you go afterwards? What's the matter?
No, it's nothing. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. Well, there's nowhere, you see, and no one. Well, there is Aunt Claire in Liverpool. She might take me in, but... No, the whole family despise me. I couldn't sit at their table for the rest of my life. I know it's a sin, but I'd rather walk out into the sea and die.
Couldn't you buy a place somewhere?
My father left everything to Yeston. Oh, I have a small annuity. Might cover a tiny room in some very cheap boarding house.
If Yeston kept this house, you could stay on. He doesn't want to live in it.
I know.
He can't really need the money, not if he's selling the colliery as well.
I know.
I did ask him once not to sell it, and he wouldn't listen to me.
I know, he told me.
Well, just have to ask him again then, isn't it?
I wonder if Yanto and Owen will come down for the wedding. I'm not at all sure about my grey silk now. It's a terrible job turning anything with pink tucks. Gwilym.
What?
I counted this afternoon. There's 4 from your side that will be wanting to come from away, and 6 from my side. Now, if I ask Maggie next door, she can find room for 3, then 2 in Hugh's bed and Hugh on the couch. And after that, I'll have to borrow mattresses and put them on the floor. Isn't it? Oh, and Gwilym.
Well, now?
Mrs. James said that Christmas Evans, his cousin in Cheltenham, has been turned into a magistrate. Now, suppose if we meet him to talk to him, isn't there something special you're supposed to call a magistrate? Your worship. Is it?
Or is it my lad?
Every time I do think about it, my stomach goes round and round.
And if I did agree not to sell it, then the next thing would be you'd want me to come back and live in it.
I don't think that.
You don't even try and see things my way, do you?
Try? Yes, I'm trying.
I want to take you out of this place. I want to open your eyes. All these people, I can understand you're fond of them and all that, but they think this place and its standards are the whole world. Harold, I mean this. It's not going to work if you won't let go. I'm not going to marry the entire clan.
I'm not asking you to. It's not fair to say that.
All right, then. It's fair play you want. I'll make a bargain with you. I will take Tynecoid off the market on one condition.
What's that?
It may sound a bit drastic, but I'm sure it's the only way.
What is it?
He can have it when he likes, but tell him to pick a day soon, that's all, not leave us all on hot bricks here.
Any day except the 10th.
The 10th?
Well, we couldn't
Well,
say.
where have you been living, girl?
Yes, the Eisteddfod. I'd forgot. Oh, this must be the only house in the valley where anyone could say that. In our house, we've been living and breathing it for weeks.
Are we going to win the male voice this year, Eva?
We're going to have a damn good try.
Win it, we're going to walk it, man. There's not a choir to touch it anywhere.
I was walking down Gavellion Street last night when they were practicing and the sound was coming out of there, and as God is my witness, I couldn't have moved another step. I could feel my hair trying to lift up, and my spine was like crawling with it, and my throat closing up as if I was going to cry my eyes out.
And I've still got a few weeks left to bring them right up to the mark.
So, Garrett, you better remind Yest in this town will be half empty on the 10th.
Yes. It'd be terrible if they had to choose between going to back up our Eva and seeing the wedding.
Yes, it would.
They won't have to choose.
Well, there you are then.
I told you she could sort it out.
They won't have to choose because...
Because what?
Because none of them are going to be seeing the wedding anyway.
You've broken it off, then?
No. But it's going to be in London.
In London?
Well, Margaret.
Well, how soft that is.
It'll be a bit awkward, won't it?
I mean, is he expecting us to go traipsing all the way up there?
No.
You mean you don't want us there? Not any of us?
I'm sorry.
Well, that's straight anyway. Are we not good enough or what?
No. There's nobody from his side there either, only the best man.
Oh, that tope, that is.
What's got into him?
He just doesn't want all the fuss.
Well, Mum, you won't have to buy new after all, then?
Well, that's lucky, isn't it?
Oh, it'll save a lot of work and bother for you, Beth.
Yes, it's the best thing, really, when you come to think of it. No end of an old hardship would have been.
Oh, Mum. Be much better, really. Because we haven't got Angharad for very much longer. And this way we can have her to ourselves for a couple of weeks, and then before she goes, we'll have a party of our own. Yes, with none of the old crachach looking down their noses at us. And we'll open the last couple of bottles of parsnip wine.
Better open them now, then.
What?
Open them now. I've got to go and pack in a minute. He wants me to go with him to London tomorrow morning. Stay there until the wedding, and then straight off to Paris and then Berlin, so... Oh, Mum, it'll be all right. Honest now. Everything's all right.
Right.
Oh. Oh, I thought everyone had gone.
Just about. They had a lovely time.
I think so.
It was too hot, if anything.
Well, it always seems to go to extremes for the Sunday school treat. Last year we were shivering. Thank you for the cakes. Yours always seem to go first.
Oh. Surprising what they get through, isn't it? Hey. Don't look that silly.
Oh, it isn't very appetizing, does it?
Have you had anything?
Well, I did come in for some, Oh, I know, that was when Mansell fell off the donkey.
Mr. Griffith, you come back to our house and have a proper tea. It's been a long time. And I've got a nice piece of raspberry tart kept back. There you are. Won't be long now. Sit down, Mr. Griffith.
Nothing well. You going to the ice for next week, are you?
Yes, going on Tuesday to be sure for the choral competition. I think half the town is going. And have you heard about the Saturday?
No. Or what?
Well, they are trying to get for all the choirs from all the valleys to be there together and have a practice all the morning and sing for the people at night. It'll be the last go-off on Saturday to crown the week. There'll be near enough 1,000 voices there.
Beautiful.
And guess who they are asking to conduct it?
Oh, you must be proud of him.
It's from Gwillim's side he gets the music. With me, I can feel it inside, but I never had much of a voice.
Have you had any news from London?
Oh, a little scribble of a letter came yesterday. Some old church they're having it in. Place will be empty. She asked me for the address of the boys' lodgings in London, so I hope she will go and see them, whatever.
You weren't opposed to the match, were you?
Oh, no use me talking to her when she gets set on anything. I don't know if he's the right one for her. She have got so deep lately, there's no way of telling. I wish someone would have had a serious talk with her. Someone she would have listened to. Oh, you're back then? Hey! Look who's here.
Hello, Mr. Griffith.
Well, what's the matter with you then?
Beth?
Yes?
Very much, Mr. Morgan. It's ever so kind of you now, honestly.
Can you do something with this little girl? She's walked 3 miles to the Sunday school treat to see some of her friends in the races. And now she's dying of thirst from being out in the hot sun.
Well, indeed. What would you like, Bach?
Oh, I don't want to put you to any trouble, Mrs. Morgan. If I could just have a cup of water, please, that would be lovely.
Well, of course, with pleasure. Hugh, fill a cup, will you?
All right, Mr. Llewellyn. Mr. Morgan.
But I would have thought you could have got some nearer than this if you thought to ask.
Oh, but I did ask somebody.
I'm sorry not to tell you, Beth, that the one she happened to ask was your youngest son.
Who wants to be sorry in that?
Tell her what he said to you.
Told me to chew grass.
Hugh, is this true what this girl says? Hey, did you tell her to chew grass?
Thanks very much.
Well, my mouth was dry too, and that's what I was doing.
I don't understand him. If he'd have seen a dog with his tongue hanging out in this heat, he'd have dropped everything. And when I happened to come along, there she was standing next to him, crying her eyes out. Well, I wonder what he'd said to her.
It wasn't happened at all. She just saw you coming, that's why she thought she'd cry.
Oh, go on, boy. Nobody can cry real tears like that if they're only joking. Well, I don't know what's got into him. I really don't. Well, look, if you've come all that way, you'd better have a bite before you go back.
Oh, thank you very much, Mrs. Morgan. But I don't want to be any trouble.
Oh, come on. Sit down there, Bach. Do you like raspberry tart?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes. What do you do if a girl keeps following you around?
Well, it depends.
On what?
Well, first of all, how much do you like her?
I can't stand her.
Oh. Well, if you're as sure as that, it's very simple, isn't it? You know what you want to do. The only question is how to do it. Incidentally, if you're thinking of Kynwen, I think you could put it a little less aggressively. She still got the point soon enough. No, it's when you are fond of them, that's when it gets really much more difficult.
Excuse me, Mr. Griffiths, but that sounds a bit silly.
Oh?
That's because if a girl kept following somebody around, and if he was keen on her too, well, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, he'd have to be no end of a fool to see any problem in that. I mean, wouldn't he?
A fool? I suppose he would, yes. Trouble is, Hugh, the world is full of them.
It's a funny smell here too. Musty.
Well, we're not in here much because we work a lot of overtime. We're trying to send a bit back to Mam every month till she's finished squaring up after the strike.
Hello, Yanto. You haven't spoken a word to me yet.
I'm waiting to find out what you've come here for. If it is only to sneer, you can fly off back to your posh gentleman friend as quick as you like.
There's no need to call him that. I'm getting married to him next Tuesday.
So I've heard. I think you're a bloody fool, but that's your affair. What do you want of us?
Well, the point is, nobody's coming up from Wales. Evo's conducting a
You say what you
festival.
mean. Nobody has been asked.
Anyway, Easton's getting a friend from Oxford to be best man, but there will be the question of who will give me away.
Now look, Angharad. As far as I am concerned, if you marry Iestyn Evans, you have gone completely over to the other side.
You won't do it then?
Speak up in the church and say that this thing has got my blessing on it. You must have lost your brains as well as your loyalty. You'd never have dreamt for a minute that I would.
I see. Owen?
Aye, I'll do it. If I'll be any good.
Do you think it is right to give her away to a man like that?
Look, for all we know, it may turn out all right. And even if she has been a fool, like you say, it's mostly to herself.
I didn't ask if you thought it would pay. I asked, is it right?
Yes, I know what you mean. I used to be very strong myself on right and wrong and wickedness and so on. Used to be so sure about it. Like you are. Only being as sure as that can make you very hard on other people. I don't suppose you'd have noticed, boyo, but I've given it up. Well, I'll have to take a day off work then. Where do you want me to come?
Give me the other towel.
All right, here you are.
Oh. Right, give me that now.
No, you can read it later.
What does it say?
Oh, nothing. Just that they have moved from Paris to Berlin. And she has got a bridal suit, whatever that is. I thought she had enough clothes, whatever.
Bridal suite, girl. It's a room in a hotel.
Mum! Dad! What on earth is the matter?
We have had a letter.
Oh, dear Well, then no, so have we. Oh, dear, you give me a real turn then. I thought something was wrong.
I knew it was something special by the crest.
What do you mean, crest?
On the envelope. I wouldn't open it till Ivor came home because it was his name on it, but I don't know how I've held myself. It's been burning a hole in the mantelpiece. Read it, Dad.
All right, man. God almighty.
William?
Is true, Ivor?
Seems like it.
True as the gospel, it's there in black and white.
What? What is it? I mean, who's it from?
Well, it's from Buckingham Palace.
Never.
It's a royal command. Ivor's going to take up the big choir. They're going to sing in front of the Queen. Hey. Don't go overdoing it now.
Well, I want to break the back within the next 3 or 4 weeks, because Mr. Mucho said it's bad to keep working right up to the exam.
You're straining your eyes there, are you? Wait a minute when I light the gas.
Oh, no, I'm packing in now anyway. Did you finish writing to Jan to annoy him?
Aye, letters over there. Stamper and all ready for posting.
You told them the date of Ivor's concert, did you?
Yes, of course.
I wonder, would the Queen let the boys go in and listen? I mean, if Ivor put in a note saying they were his own brothers and they were living in London nice and handy...
Oh, he could pretend he had a choir of 1,002. I don't suppose you'd be counting. Here, I'll take it out of the box.
Oh, Jude. They're shooting up here. Last one. And soon he'll be gone too.
You're the one who keeps on pushing him. Scrimping and scraping and cutching away every threepenny bit to send him through college.
Well, he's working hard too, love him. And think how proud we will be when he gets there.
Will he be proud if he comes home acting like Yeston Evans?
How are you? Never in a million years.
Come in.
Mrs. Morgan?
Oh, dear.
Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, wait a minute. What is it?
Oh, Mrs. Morgan, will you take in Mrs. Price's goods? Because I can't get an answer there.
Yes, all right. Put them down there, will you?
Yes. It's all there, bar the knife powder, tell her.
Yes.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Morgan. Yes. Well, I'm just wondering, did I ever congratulate you on your Ivor winning the Eisteddfod with his choir?
Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Elias. Mind you, it was a few weeks ago. Still, better late than never, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. The Morgans are in everybody's mouths lately. A good boy, Ivor. Pity your Yanto didn't turn out more like him. But still, perhaps the colliery would be willing to sign him on again now that your daughter's got so thick with Yestin Evans.
In the first place, Mr. Elias, the colliery didn't sack Yanto. He walked out.
That's right, he did, before he could have a chance to sack him.
And for another thing, he is not a pity at all, but a decent man with hundreds thinking the world of him.
And for another thing, Angharad isn't thick with Yestin Evans. She married him.
Oh, it's all lies, I know what some are saying, but...
dear.
Well, you can understand how they see it funny. All that fuss and then everything called off and nothing heard since,
Look,
you know.
there is a piece there in the London papers saying she was married. Now ask them, do they want me to put it in the front window for them or what?
That's right enough, too. I wonder why she made it that way, then. A family quarrel with him, I dare say, for marrying beneath him.
Please to come in. Quill? Hi. Quill, look who's here.
Oh?
This is Miss Blodwen Evans of Tina Coyd. I don't know if you have met my husband.
No, I don't.
Well, please to sit down, Miss Evans. Well, that is Mr. Elias the grocer there, who is just going. And could I ask you to move your cart, please, Mr. Elias, so when I get visitors, there is no room for their horses to pull up.
Mrs. Morgan, I hope you don't mind me coming round like this without any warning, but I wondered if you had any news from the continent.
We had one just this morning. Look. Now, if you sit down by here, you will have light to read it by.
Oh, may I? Are you sure?
With pleasure. Will you excuse me just a minute? There's something I forgot to ask him. Oh, Mr. Elias. If you see Bron and Ivor, would you ask them, have they answered the letter they got this morning from Buckingham Palace? From the Queen of England, Mr. Elias. From Queen Victoria.
I found her almost alarming at first. She's so unorthodox. You never know what she'll say or do next.
Well, that's true enough.
But when I got to know her better, I can't tell you how much I admire her. She's so spirited and warm, and she's afraid of nobody. She's been very kind to me.
What? Angharad has?
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's nice of you to say so. Miss Evans, when I offered your brother a cup of tea and it wasn't tea time, he seemed to think it was a funny thing to do.
Well, I'd love one.
Good. Quill, take a coat, will you, while I put the kettle on?
Come on now, Miss Evans. Pick up a coat.
Now mind you put your trousers flat under the mattress before you go to bed. And hang your jacket up, not just dump it down like you do here. And clean white shirt in the morning, and there's a spare white collar for the evening. For the Queen.
Off then.
Yes.
Back on Tuesday.
Hey! Time to let him go now, girl.
Yeah, 3D on the pavement out there.
Hey! I never thought I'd see that day, Oh, leave over there, leaving a lovely wife to go and see some dumpy little old widow up in London.
Di, for shame, man, don't call her that.
Well, my opinion of her, I've gone up in need. I mean, she do like a bit of good music anyway. Did you come to the station with him?
No.
Oh.
Di.
Huh?
Come on.
What?
They get off all right?
Oh, it was great. Dad, you ought to have come. They had to get extra carriages to go on the train, and when it went off, they were all hanging off the windows and singing louder than the steam.
Oh, I would have liked to have gone down myself. I was a bit afraid of the crush.
Oh, it's a good thing, Beth. Just as well that one or two of her left, treating it like a Sunday. Mr. Griffith, we'll have a chapel 3/4 empty there.
And a quiet top of you is a problem.
You should have come home sooner. We've got no time to change now and come to chapel.
Oh. Never mind, I'll stay and do some maths.
If you can settle to it. Overexcited from the look of you.
Hey? Have you told him about,
Oh, no, I nearly forgot. Hey, that old girl has been here again.
What old girl?
You remember? She was here a couple of months ago, before you broke up school, day of the Sunday school treat. Came for a glass of water and ate her way through half a raspberry tart.
Kindwin.
That's the one. Lots of people came over from there to give the choir a good send-off.
So she's, gone home now?
No, it was you she was asking for. She's gone away, but she said she'd come back.
Staying here then?
What's the matter with you, boy? She won't bite you?
You don't know her?
Well, I don't know, indeed. She's improved a lot since last time.
Oh, she had she?
Well, I thought so, indeed.
Well, there you are. 16 is a great age for doing a bit of improving.
I think I'll go down Bronze for a bit, out of the way, see?
It's you.
I saw the light upstairs, so I just came in. You don't mind?
Of course not. It's lovely to see you.
I didn't shut up in case he was just dropping off.
That's right. Hey, good job it was you, though, nobody else.
Why?
Well, doing my ironing on a Sunday, that's terrible, isn't it? If it had been Mr. Elias, he'd have been stomping up and down here with temper at the wickedness of it all.
I was just thinking the opposite.
How do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Just thinking to myself that everything in this house feels good, and I don't know how to put it.
Oh, you old silly. It's only like everyone else's. Except, of course, we do happen to have the most marvellous kid in the Five Valleys. And his dad does happen to be a genius. We can't help that, can we?
And what about his mum?
Oh, nothing special about her. Only being so lucky. Oh, Hugh, it's been the most marvellous day. I haven't sat down since you were left. I've been so full up with feeling I had to keep doing things. It's only now it feels a bit funny him not being here.
I expect it does.
We look forward to this time of the day, when Gareth's gone to bed and come down here nice and quiet and have a cup of tea. Hey, you'll stay and have one, will you? It'll be mashed by now.
Yes, please.
Good. Biscuits in the tin if you want one.
Oh, no thanks. I'm not hungry.
Oh, right then. Now then, come to the table. And I'll sit down by here and be me, and you sit by there and be Ifor. And you tell me everything you've been doing with yourself all day. That's what we usually do. What's the matter, boyo?
What?
I said, what's the matter? You're miles away.
No, nothing.
Oh, it's all that old swatting, that's what it is. You ought to sit down by there and put your feet up on the fender and just relax. No books in your hand, just resting. That'll do you good.
No. I won't stay.
You're not rushing off already, are you?
Yes, I'm sorry. I can't stay.
What's your hurry?
I've got a lot of things to do, see? A lot of set maths, and then some revision, so I...
Well, that was a quick visit. Love me and leave me, is it?
Goodbye. Thanks for the tea.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Hello?
How did you get in?
Door was open.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't locked, was it? Got tired of knocking. I was knocking for ages just now.
I was down bronze.
Yes, I saw you come back up. Didn't stay long, did you?
No.
Warm today, isn't it?
Aye.
Be a good time for the nightingales.
What nightingales?
Oh, you don't tell me you've forgotten.
What? Forgotten what?
You said you would take me up the mountain to listen to nightingales.
Oh, me? No, I never.
Oh, you don't be such a fibber. You know you did. Because I said I didn't believe there were any there, and you bet me a penny and said you'll prove it.
It was years ago.
But you did promise. And I have never heard a nightingale. And I always wanted to. Didn't think you were the kind of boy who'd break a promise.
You can't go up there like that.
I know.
Oh, you have to hang around and keep quiet for ages. You'd frighten them away.
I'll keep quiet, you honestly I will. I won't say a word.
Well, considering the grass in that dress, you'll get all messed up.
I don't mind, I can easily wash it.
Well, what if the grass is damp? Because the Joe will be up before long and you'll catch a cold and I'll get the blame.
Wouldn't tell my mother I was up with you. Then if I catch cold, I'll take the blame myself. But the best thing would be if we take an old blanket up with us. And then we can sit on that and we won't catch cold at all. Oh, come on. Let's do that, is it you?
Must be lost, man. Lost? How could she get lost? Broad daylight when she started back.
What's the matter?
It's my father. Oh my God, he'll kill me.
Dog, you want some boats with you, Mr. Lloyd? Aye.
Put me in prison.
I ought to.
You can't do that, girl.
Oh, they will call me up in chapel.
Do you know if she had anybody with her? I'll give you my Bible oath. I'll find out who it is if it's the last thing I'll do. And I'll be calling at his house with a cleaver.
gone.
Good.
What was that for?
Saying thank you to God for not letting them find us. Here. This is yours.
What do we do now?
I'll run after them and say I heard them shouting. And they will take me home.
But you said they would murder you.
If they caught us, but they didn't. I would say, I started to go home, and I heard a noise, and thought it was something in a trap. So I went off the road to look for it, and got lost. Went round in circles until I got so tired, I went to sleep.
Will they believe all that?
I don't expect so, but I can go on saying it, and they can't prove any different. But, oh dear, I wasn't half frightened. You're not sorry you came, though, are you? I'm not. I mean, it's a pity they came so quick, wasn't it? It's just starting to be nice. We're sweethearts now.
Better go now if you want to catch him up.
Good night, then.
Why? With blankets, is it?
We went up there to listen to the nightingale.
Oh, yes. I've heard all about that nightingale from Ivor. Funny thing with you Morgan boys. Very narrow taste you got in bird song. None of you ever takes a girl up to listen to a blackbird or a lark.
It was her idea.
Yes, I can believe that. Not very gentlemanly of you to say it all the same. Now, the point is, what were you going to say when you got home?
Nothing.
You thought you could walk in there at 1:45 in the morning and your dad would say, "Hello, Hugh, been out for a little stroll then, is it?"
But they won't be there, Bron. I often go up and do revision in my room and just put out the light. So when they come in from chapel and I wasn't there in the kitchen, they'll just have locked up and gone to bed. So I can climb up on the shed and in through the window.
Oh, yes. Now think again, boyo. Kynwen's father have been here kicking up blue murder all over the town. And your mum knows Kynwen was looking for you. So, what would be the first thing she'd do?
Go up to my room and ask me. She did. Oh, true, so they know then. Oh, joke.
Now listen, boyo, because I have been lying my head off for you. Your mum came here looking for you next because you said you were coming over for a bit. And I said you were still here with me when the hue and cry started. And I said nothing would do, but you must go out and help look for her.
Oh, yes, well, that's great, Bron.
Yes, but it won't be if you start climbing in windows, will it? Now, they have left the door open for you. And if I know your mum, she'll be waiting up for you. So you go in through the front door and not with the old blanket rolled up in your arms. Leave that for another time.
And I'll say I got tired looking for her and then came back.
No, you say she's safe with her dad and put their minds easy. I suppose she is all right, is she?
What do you mean?
I think you know what I mean.
I haven't done anything to make her not all right.
Good. I just wondered because, well, she is the sort of girl who'd rather say come on than stop.
Mum's not going to ask me all this, is she? I'll go through the floor.
No, you're all right with your mum. She still thinks you're a little boy. She can't have had a very good look at you lately.
How long since you don't think so, Bron?
Since I heard you've been talking to little girls about nightingales. Now out.
Out?
Yes. Your mum has been working hard all day. I don't want to lose her any more sleep, do you? Now come on, off with you.
Thanks for not telling them.
Yes, well, more for their sakes than yours. Off with you.
Good night, Bron.
Have you locked it?
Yes, Mum.
Where's that old girl now, then?
Oh, they found her and she's gone home now.
She wants her backside tanned. Let's hope somebody will do it for her.
Got lost, she did, up on the mountain.
Care on a lost big load. You want food?
Oh, no thanks, Mum.
Look, it won't help anything to get pneumonia on top of it. Cowl, get some of it down you. Exams you ought to be thinking of, not all girls at your age, achavi.
Mum...
Kite a gig, Hugh, don't you start. I've had a whole string of fairy tales from Bron already. I let on to be swallowing it in front of your father because he's got troubles enough at the pit without you adding to them. But when did she think I was born? Yesterday?
Well, I just came in with her backside tan. I thought you'd stick up for her.
Me? Why?
Because you nearly would stick up for the girl.
Why, if they've been foolish like, or took advantage of. But that one, you mark my word, she's like a barrel load of monkeys. You tell her from me, next time she wants a drink of water, stay in her own valley, not over 2 hours. And chase after grown boys that know what they're doing, not crooks of kids. And if she knows what's good for her, let them be other people's sons, not mine, or one of these days she will be wondering what hit her.
Mum, Dad, they're back! They caught the early train!
What? Where are they?
Coming up the street here from Brun, a great big box with them and a whole crowd.
There he is! Oh, how'd it go, boy?
Oh, Mum, it was wonderful.
Come here, man. Look at him there.
I know it's soft, isn't it? I can't stop it for the life of me.
Did you see it? Did you talk to her?
Hey, look.
Hey, what's that big old thing by there, then?
It's a present, Mum. For you and Dad.
A present? What present? I mean, what's it for?
Oh, you'll have to wait now, Mrs. till we open it, see? Because Evo has sworn us all in to shut our gobs so you'll have a surprise.
Yes, we need a hammer, a chisel and a pair of pinchers.
Did you go inside Buckingham Palace?
What was Windsor they were at, boy?
Now, Windsor Castle she was in. We were in there, aye.
What was she like?
Oh, little she is, Mum. Oh, she's little than Pepper Lewis.
No, go on.
Look, William, see, what we need is a hammer, chisel and a pair of pinchers.
Aye, all right, Cavars.
She only came up to by her on me.
Go on. Were you so close to then?
Well, aye, she shook hands.
You shook hands with the Queen?
Whoever put this top on, he was boasting either. They got nails to spare up in London.
Oh, come in, my hand, Mr. Griffith. You heard the news?
Mr. Griffith, look at this. Only yesterday this was shaking the hand of Queen Victoria. Well, I never thought I'd live to see the day.
Mr. Griffith, what we need is a hammer, chisel and a pair of pinchers.
In the shed, I'll get
Did she talk to you, Evo?
Aye.
Oh, come on, Ivor, sit down by there where we can all see you, boy. All right.
Come on now.
Go on then.
Well, she asked me who trained the men to sing, and if they were all coal miners. And she gave me a baton.
Have a tick now, Evo. Show up first, innit? Look, black leather, see? Silver fasteners were there. And inside, red plush. See, it's ivory with silver inlays and a gold plate were right there for what it was for. Oh, yes. Okay, boy, that's what we are.
You mean she gave you this herself?
Well, no, not herself, Mum, but she told me I would be having it, and one of her soldiers brought it to me.
Did she cry when they sung of Anwy?
Well, I couldn't tell you that because I had my back to her to do the conducting.
Oh, they must have done, Bron. After all, fair dues. She do know as well as most what it is to have lost somebody.
I would sang it in Welsh, we did. Maybe a Welsh isn't so hot, eh?
Talking through the back of your neck, man. It's all in the music, isn't it? Come up. I mean, look at that time we went to see Pagliacci in Newport. That was all in Italian. Dirty enough, get you in the guts when you start let loose all that soul, right? That's it. Come on, right?
Here we are.
There we go.
And she've signed it by there with her own hand. You can see it plain, look. Victoria, R.I.
Oh, Ivor, there's proud I am. But Ivor oughtn't Bron to have this.
Oh, Mam Vach, it was Bron said, give it to you.
No, Ma'am, we will have the bats on. You have the picture. What do I want things for to remind me when I've got the old boy there himself?
Dear, dear. Hey, but what does R.I. mean?
Oh, that's simple, man, look. Victoria R.I. Well, that means Victoria wrote it.
Oh,
Beth?
Yes?
Beth?
I am still listening.
Oh,
Go out. Thank you, Cyfartha.
You're welcome, Mrs. Morgan.
If I were you, Mrs., be safer in the other room.
Yes, that's just where I'm taking it and hung up first thing in the morning.
Beth?
Hey, now remember now, good boy. Whatever she will be saying to you, we're behind you, see? Three against one, you see?
No, Di. No.
Aye, man. 1, 2, 3 by her. And one even there, see?
Aye, but not on two, Di, not on two,
I don't think so. What do you want? Got up there about?
Rubies, man.
Rubies?
Says in the Bible, man. A good woman is above rubies, man.
Mrs. Morgan, it was not William's fault, see. I mean, everybody was buying for him because of Ivo and the Queen.
What do you think I'm going to do to him? Hit him with a rolling pin? You don't need no bodyguard, Daibando. Will? You there?
Aye.
Now, I'm going to take your boots off, and then Cyfartha's going to take one arm, and I'll take the other to get you upstairs. And in the morning, I'll send a message to the pit to say you're taking half a turn off work. All right?
Lovely.
Oh, Mrs. Morgan.
What now?
Rubies is right, Di.
Oh. I had a headache.
Liar. Nobody believed that.
I don't care what they believe.
No, you made that quite obvious. You were bloody rude. If that's the way you're going to behave to my friends, I shall think twice next time before I introduce you to them.
Thank heaven for small mercies.
What does that mean?
Am I really supposed to feel honoured, then? Spending an evening in company like that?
Cartwright is the president of a company of textile importers. Hallam is the second son of a baronet. Harcourt Brown is England's leading expert on marine insurance. These people are not good enough for you.
Cartwright is fat and bald and sweaty. Hallam is a brainless snob and Mrs. Hallam is a bitch. Harcourt Brown has a mind like a cesspool and a hand like a toad. You seem to think I'm going to hang around every evening for hours on end, smiling at their stupid wives while you sit there drinking, playing cards, getting red in the face and throwing your money away.
It may interest you to know that I pocketed £35 tonight.
And last night you lost over 60. Even Berlin was better than this. When are we going back to England, Yestin?
When I say so.
Let's go soon. Please, Yestin.
When I say so. I'll tell you another thing. It won't be until Madame is showing a few more signs of becoming civilized. Civilized. House-trained, broken in, a lot more gracious to my friends, a lot less bloody whining and nagging in our hours of ease, eh, Rosebud? Well, it's better. Mouth shut for a change. And none too soon either, Mrs. Evans. Bah, you will find I'll be shutting it for you. Just bear that in mind in future, will you?
There you are.
Where's Dad?
Still in bed.
In bed?
Well, a bit tired after last night, that's all.
Oh, I see. Out late, was it?
A lot of people keeping him up to ask him about Ivor and shake his hand.
Oh, why, that would wear anybody out.
Hey.
Oh, it's left, Mum.
I'll go.
From wrong headed, perhaps.
She might as well save the ink for all the sense that's in them lately. His hair I want to know about, not a lot of old chapels falling to bits.
Temples, man, up as Athens.
Hey, no. She's from the boys in London.
Oh, open it then.
I'm afraid.
Why?
Something's happened.
Why'd you say that?
Well, why they're writing? We had one only on Saturday. It's not their week to write.
Oh, you can open it. Look, let me.
No, no. Oh! Oh, Hugh! Oh, mechkin gladi! Oh! La la dee 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 dee. What is it?
La 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 la.
What is it? Let me see. They're coming home, Hugh. Oh, you Mr. George, don't break hir la 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 la. Adael hwn roedd o'n gofyn la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, dear. Oh, they're coming home.
Well, I haven't done a thing yet about Pope and Dryden. Oh, I'm not worried about the literature. You can always think of something to write about that. That's what my sister used to say. I remember. How is she? Kind Win. She's all right. I thought she would have been taking the exams. Oh, she was supposed to. Only there was a terrible row at the end of the holidays. She stayed out ever so late one night and Dad was furious. So he made her leave and now she's working for him. I see. Hey, Vaughan! Get a move on. Come on quickly before I come over there. Hurry up. Go on into school now. How far have you got with the Virgil? Finished the Virgil. Have you, by damn? Are they all in? Looks like it. Unless there's any in the lab. I caught 3 of them smoking in there yesterday. I suppose we better have a look then. Your turn then. I did it last time. Bell's gone. Said the bell's gone. Are they coming out?
Yeah.
Rodri, best I'm bored.
Nothing.
Get a move on then.
Please don't touch my back.
Mr. Jonas.
Aye.
For what?
Said I cheeked him. Went bloody living madman. Like he couldn't stop.
So there you are, Williams. I was beginning to wonder whether you were going to honour us with your presence or not.
Not feeling well, Mr. Jonas. I think you'd better go home.
You may have been appointed a prefect, Morgan, but you've not yet been appointed to run the school. So, Williams has been complaining to you, has he?
No, Mr. Jonas.
I don't believe you. You came whining to him for sympathy, did you? If you only knew it, this boy is one of your worst enemies.
Me?
Oh, yes. I've heard you more than once with my own ears, not only failing to reprove these boys for speaking Welsh, but replying to them and even initiating it.
Was that for talking Welsh?
Sir, I couldn't remember the English word.
That is too bad, Williams. In future, if you can't remember the English word, it's better to remain dumb. Now, back to your class.
Yes, sir.
And unless you consider that you already know everything this school has to teach you, I advise you to do the same. And get a move on you, we haven't got all day. Bydde ti'n flin yn un o'r ostiac. Bach blir. Syle ti gael y wado. Dwi ddim wedi cwpl ar y dyd o gofio. Bydde ti'n gobeithio, dwi ti ddim wedi cael ta enni.
Oh, wait, not so rough now, mind.
All right.
Oh, do laughing at me, all of you, and you should be showing respect. Oh, come here, you old silly. Now, come on, off with your coat, sit down and eat.
Aye, come on, this has been an half an hour, nobody allowed to touch.
Hey, what's this shirt you got on you then? Is that what they're wearing in London? Well, real guys they must look, that's all I can say. What's wrong with good Welsh flannel?
Come on now, Beth. Give them a chance to breathe before we get at them. We won't come in through the door.
Well, if we didn't have somebody calling us to order, we'd be thinking we'd come to the wrong house.
No, there's a lovely sight, Yanto.
Oh,
He wanted to eat getting off the train in Cardiff. Now, is it right to say no?
Oh, come on, boys. Got everything you want?
Oh, no, ma'am. Cup of tea would be lovely.
All right, come in right away.
It's lovely to have you back, boys. Going for a bit of a rest, is it?
Aye, that's right.
Are you going back?
Hey, give him a chance then.
Well, it all depends, doesn't it, Yanto?
On what?
On if you got room for us, like, and if you're willing to have us back, and how long you're prepared to put up with us.
Hey, come on now. This is your home as long as we're alive. As long as you want it. Be sure of that. Now then, tell me about the work.
Oh, see, they are trying to dig this tunnel to send trains through. Lord, you, there's a potch they're making of it.
If it was coal they were trying to get out instead of dirt, it's not 1 in 10 would make enough to live on.
I mean, it's not as if it's hard, like hard going. I mean, where we was, it was like cutting through cheese compared to underneath there.
You must have done very well then.
I tell you, They took one look at our Owen in action and in 10 days they made him a foreman.
What about you then? Oh, dear. No need to ask, I suppose. Cheek them. Mouth almighty, that's you.
Well, he opened his as well. Started to tell the surveyor where he was going wrong.
Got the sack then?
No, I was right, man. Surveyor got the sack.
He just got a bigger gang put under him, that's all. Where's our you then?
Oh, I'll be back in a minute. He's often late these days.
Girls have started pestering you.
Oh, here's look.
Hey, hello, boy. Shumai.
Lovely, thanks.
Hello. Okay. Which one have you got the sack?
Me, Dad. They didn't have no union, see, and I tried to start one. Now, if you'd like to say something, you can say it once, and I guarantee I won't flare up.
No, Yunto. None of my business, boy. Your work, your business.
What did you think of our Ivor then?
Oh, great. It's the funniest thing I've heard in years. Our Evo with a starch collar on, up there, bowing and scraping to the widow of Windsor.
Oh, Yanto! Oh, do you know, that was the one day in my life I was really glad you were away from home. You'd have been saying things all the time and spoiling everything.
Mind you, I'm glad they won the Eisteddfod. Honest to goodness, bit of glory there. So's our Hugh will be the next one we're crowing about when he wins this scholarship, eh?
Oh, I didn't tell you, Beth.
What?
Near Stealthford, one of the shot firers was having a word with Hugh's headmaster up on the Mites.
Yeah.
And now Mr. Motsil, he said to him that this one by here was one of the best scholars they've ever had there. Working really hard these last 2 terms, he has, he said. And in his opinion now, he doesn't see how he can fail.
What does your father say?
Haven't told anybody yet. They were so happy. Couldn't just butt in and say, oh, I'm sorry, I've been expelled.
You can't put it off beyond Monday.
I know. I even thought I'd go out every day and pretend I'd been to school. Only I know there'd be no point.
How's Mr. Jonas now?
Oh, Mr. Motzel sent over to his house last thing in the afternoon. And the doctor had been and he's keeping him in bed a bit. Oh, but he's all right. He said it was delayed concussion.
Oh, Hugh.
Maybe it was where he fell against the wall.
And maybe it wasn't.
I've got to admit, just for those few minutes, I really wanted to kill him. When he dropped down like that, I was afraid I had.
The trouble with Dibando's art of self-defense. No guarantee it won't be used in attack.
It's Mum I'm worrying about. She'll break her heart. I don't know how she's managed to keep me there all through the strike and after. And with the wages cut and everything, now it's all been wasted.
Learning is never wasted, Hugh. Look, I will go over and see your headmaster this evening. See if anything can be salvaged.
You mean if he'll let me stay on?
I don't see how he can do that. The man's a member of his staff, and he owes his staff some loyalty.
Oh, Mr. Griffith, I don't think you understand how it happened. I think if you had been there, you might have done the same.
I might very well have done the same, but that would not make it right or reasonable. Do you know what will happen when you tell your family the story?
I think I'll at least see what made me do it.
I think they'll try and make a hero out of you. Yantu will laugh and praise you to the skies. Bronwyn will give you a kiss for every punch you landed. Your father will say no Morgan worth his salt would have done any different, and even your good mother will say you should have hit him harder whilst you were about it. Now then, are you going to believe them?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a good thing to have a family like that, with you right or wrong. And they're good people. But as I claim to believe in Christ, I'm bound to think that the thing to do to your enemy, Hugh, is not to flatten him, but to forgive him.
I can see you've got to say that. I don't think I can do it, though.
Will you at least go and see him and ask how he is?
I don't see what good it'll do.
Well, it will do this much. Whilst they're trying to make you into Jack the Giant Killer, you may realize he is not a giant, merely a middle-aged schoolmaster who unfortunately has no more control over his temper than you seem to have.
Oh, Mr. Griffith, you make it sound such an odd thing to be a Christian.
Anybody who tells you it's easy is either a fool or a hypocrite.
It's a disgrace all the same.
No disgrace at all. To come out of a place where they allow carryings on like that.
What would you expect him to do? Stand by and watch it?
I'm not saying right nor wrong to that. He didn't come out. He was expelled. Say what you like, that is lowering. I'm not blaming the boy.
Well, you ought not to blame the boy either. The last one you ought to be. I mean, who's paying him good money to go punching and fighting in the first place?
Aye, only to hold his own, Beth.
Well, he's held it now with a vengeance.
Aye.
The man could have him up if he wanted to turn nasty.
You wouldn't dare be too afraid of what will come out.
Hugh, go and see who that is, will you?
What makes my blood boil is for them to let it ruin his whole career. If they left it for a few more weeks, the exams would be over.
Yes, well, I think you did right. It was time somebody did something to that Jonas. Wicked he is, real vicious.
And he's always boys from the valleys. That's what gets me. He's got his knife into them special.
He's been asking for trouble for years.
Got off very light, if you ask me.
Ma'am. Yes, carry on.
Oh, come and sit down while you have Mr. Griffith.
Well, now, did you go over there?
Did you see him? I saw Mr. Motzel, yes. He takes a very grave view of the situation, naturally. It puts him in a very awkward position.
It's his own fault. He should never be harbouring a man like that.
I didn't manage to see Mr. Jonas, but I understand that he does not intend to prefer charges.
I said so, didn't I?
Now, about Hugh's future. Mr. Motzel agreed it would be a great pity if Hugh could not continue with his studies. He can't see a way of admitting him back into the school, but he thinks he's probably learnt enough to take him through his exams. The one subject he's not very happy about is his Latin, and I think I can help him there. So, if Hugh would like to sit the exams externally, Mr. Motzel will take all the necessary steps.
Huh? What? What?
A boy at the door, Elijah.
Did he give his name?
Hugh Morgan.
Send him away.
Yes, Elijah.
No. Wait. Wait. Pass me my jacket. And take the tray away.
Are you going?
Only to the table.
Do you want me to let him in?
Wait. Can't let a boy see this. Bad example. Yes. Show him in.
Mr. Jonas says, will you please step this way?
Well, Morgan.
Sir, I've come to ask how you are.
Oh, I'm well enough. I'm not that easily quenched. Slightly inconvenienced, as you can imagine, through the loss of my spectacles, which will take some time to replace. The hardship there will not be so much mine as that of the unfortunate boys in the examination form, whose work I will be unable to mark during those last few vital weeks. You gave no thought to them, of course.
And to say I'm sorry.
By which you mean, I suppose, you want me to go to Mr. Motzel and plead for your reinstatement?
No, sir.
Just as well, then, for if you do want that, one must be your master. And in case you have any ideas of pleading with him yourself, I should perhaps inform you that I gave him the choice of two alternatives. Either he should expel you or I should call in the police.
I'm not pleading with anybody, sir. It's just that something came over me when I hit you as hard as that, and I started to be sorry straight after.
You expect me to believe that?
I don't expect anything, but it's true. And I promised myself I'd say it.
What came over you, Morgan, was the sheer, blind hatred and prejudice that you have nurtured towards me from the first day you walked into that school.
Me? Towards you?
Of course you have. I've had boys from your background pass through my hands before now. My sister here will tell you. I could show you letters from them. Boxes of letters, full of gratitude. I have put their feet on the rungs of the ladder. I have shown them the way out of this dark, blind, narrow-minded, humbugging stink of a place, and I could have done the same for you, but oh no, you were too stiff-necked. You closed your mind against me from the beginning.
Mr. Jonas, the first thing you did was to sneer at my people and my language and my town and everything I came from, and
Yes, because what you came from is only a few degrees removed from barbarism. Mushy, mindless, prying, sentimental, outdated, atavistic, and doomed. Once I'd cleared your mind of all that cant, we could have moved forward together. The quality of your intellect I never doubted. I could have done a lot for you, Morgan, once you'd been broken in, but you rejected it. And you see where your attitude has led you. To physical violence and sheer thuggery. I hope you're proud of yourself. Ruth, show this boy out.
It wasn't like that, Miss Jonas. It really wasn't like that.
You nearly lost him his job the time before.
I did?
Yes. After that man hit him with the cane in the classroom and the headmaster demoted him, he was waking up with nightmares for 3 months. He was worn down to a shadow.
He was terrified he would have lost his grip on the children and gone under into poverty again. And me with him. Nobody will know the courage it took for him to go on.
Courage? Why is he like that? He's Welsh himself. It's himself he's hating when he talks like that.
He happened to be born Welsh, yes. But Elijah climbed up out of it, you see. He bettered himself. He fought his own way and made himself into what he is today. He used to hope at one time that you might have done the same.
Oh, Miss Jonas, God forbid.
Thank you. Not the least blessing about being back in London is a decent cup of tea.
Yes, dear. Where are we going to live?
You don't like it here?
Yes, but we can't go on living in hotels.
We might look around for a pied-à-terre.
What's that?
A couple of rooms, something central.
No, but a house, Justin. A proper house somewhere. With a garden.
Pregnant.
I don't think so. Why?
Sudden emergence of nesting instinct.
It's not that. It's just I want something to do. Tired of doing nothing.
Oh, I thought you had shopping to do.
Finish that.
Well, Rosebud, you can do some more now, any time you like. I have sold the colliery.
Good, at last. Which one of them bought it in the end?
Either of them. I got a much better offer, 15% up, and it's gone through without hiccup.
Who from?
Dale Howells.
What do they need it for? They've got enough, I should have thought.
Well, they don't need it.
Well, how do you mean? If they don't need it, what did they buy it for?
Well, they don't need the colliery, they just want the coal. It'll be cheaper for them to extend their headings westward from the Nant Glass and get it out that way. It's always been a bit of a nuisance to them. No, they'll close it down, is what they'll do.
Close it down?
Don't you raise your voice to me. Sit down.
You mean you're going to let them close it down? There are over 400 men working there.
Can't help that. It's out of my hands now. I couldn't impose conditions of sale.
If you'd sold it to a man instead of a common, there would have been no need. He'd have wanted to work it.
I sold it to the highest bidder. I'd been a damn fool to do any different.
What's going to happen to them?
To who?
To the men. My father, for one.
Heaven's sake, Harlan, stop making an exhibition of yourself. Good God, are you seriously suggesting that in order to keep your father in a job worth, what is it, £2 or £3 a week, that I should turn down a deal worth thousands? It'd pay me better to pension him off.
He'd never take it from you, and you know it. Work he wants, not charity. What about the others? Evil. Hundreds of them, wives and children.
I can only say that if that colliery was such a priceless boon to them and my father was such a benefactor, it's pity they didn't show a bit more appreciation while it was still open.
You must have had this in your mind for weeks. You never mentioned a word of it to me.
Oh, why should I? What difference would that have made?
Well, at least I could have pointed out. I could have
I'm
reasoned
sorry,
with you.
you're being childish. You're talking about things you don't understand.
I understand very well.
Do you imagine if you'd gone to your brother, say last year, and you pleaded with him, please, Yanto, don't oppose the sliding scale because it will be harmful to my darling Yestin, whom I love so dearly. Do you think for 1 second he would have taken the slightest bit of notice? Of course not. Why should you expect it to work the other way around, then? I'll have another cup if you don't mind.
Pour it, then.
Bound to, Gwilym, bound to. A man like you.
I'm 52, Beth.
Oh, to hell with old calendars. Experience you have got, worth gold to anybody.
Eva will be all right, I think. They'll be taking on extra men at Nant Glass, and they can always use good, coal-faced men. And he's at the top of his strength.
Well, they want other kinds, too.
I doubt it. Some olliers and some roadmen, aye, but all the safety men will be out, see, the pumpsmen and the fan men. Be nothing for them, Beth. Nothing for me, neither. They'll have their own overmen. And if they haven't, they'll pick from their own team, not outsiders.
Something will come. You'll see.
He's got the strength there, Beth, to go back into the face, man. And yeah, bit rusty after 6 years, but... it's my wind that worries me, though. I think I got a bit of dust sometimes. No, it's no good fooling myself, man. A week on that face would finish me.
Well, then, the Lord be praised to have shut down that old black hole and brought you up into the fresh air while you can still breathe it. We'll be all right. Look, we've managed all these years. We're not going to sink now. And look, Yanto and Owen are still out looking. They may be lucky today.
Aye, Owen, maybe. Now they split up to apply.
What, you think it's the politics then, do you, keeping Yanto out?
Aye, what else, man? For work, he could lick the lot of us. I've seen him fill 10 drams in a shift, man.
Be worse now, too, with all those being thrown out. 2 men after every job again.
Well, God is good. It's a blessing the boys have come home. If I ain't gonna be here, useless. Especially Owen. He can turn his hand to anything.
Yes?
Miss Evans is here. She was outside on the step now when I came back. I told her to come in, but she said to ask you first.
Well, it's not her fault, is it?
Miss Evans, won't you come in?
Mr. Morgan, what can I say?
Well, it's all been said now. Girl, come on, sit down.
I'm so ashamed. I don't understand how Ayrton could have done such a thing. I was afraid he wouldn't let me in just now. I wouldn't have blamed him.
Have you had a letter from him?
No, not a line. Not since that card I showed you. Do you know if they're back in England yet?
No, we don't know nothing.
I thought Angharad might have written.
No.
Do you think she knows about the colliery?
Oh, she knows all right. That's why she hasn't written. After all, what could she say? There aren't any words, are there?
Any luck? Oh.
Ivor's in all, at the Nan class.
Oh, thank God for that.
And Kev Arthur's in and all. He was in 2 minds whether to take it, though, because Di Bando's out. They'd never been split before.
Why is Di Bando out?
Oh, do a good worker too, see, Di. And no more politics in him than that kettle there.
God only knows. His age, most like. Oh, Ma'am, they are signing on boys when they can get them. It works out cheaper that way. I should never have come home. I should have stayed in London and met that bloody ship and got Iestyn Evans by the bloody throat and strangled him.
Hey, Yanto.
What's the matter?
Can't you see we've got a visitor? Now, look, Yanto. Miss Blodwen Evans has been here 3 times while you were away, not acting like the old Krachach mine, but very straightforward and friendly. And she is welcome under this roof any time she likes to come. This is my son, Yanto.
Ma'am, this is your roof. Have under it who you like. But excuse me while I go out the back for a minute.
Hey, Yanto!
Oh, steady on.
Sorry.
Are you all right? Sorry.
My fault.
Here. Did you come out of our house, number 24? Who is that?
1 credit and 2 distinctions. That really is excellent. Mr. Motzel hopes you will take full advantage. Well, so do I. You remember the first time I mentioned to you Oxford, you thought I was flying too high? Well, surely you'll try now, won't you? What do your parents say?
Mr. Griffith, how much would it cost?
Well, I can easily find that out. I'll send away for a prospectus. Jesus College, that'll be the one. Besides, they have scholarships. I'll find out the details about those 2. Now, let me see, when do they set them? It's about 3 months' time, I think.
Look, don't say too much to them about it.
Who? Your parents, do you mean? Well, why not?
Well, Mum's been trying to save up, see, just in case I get the chance. But she always thought it'd be with Dad still working, so it's...
Oh, I see, yes. But then, if you did get a scholarship, you'd be self-supporting.
Aye, but I'd still rather wait just till we see how things turn out.
What did he say?
Dan, it's like talking to a bloody wall,
Did you ask about on top?
There's no openings on top.
Well, damn it, oh, what's the odds? I mean, we can manage all right on my money.
Oh, what am I supposed to do then? Stay home and pack a box for you? Put a little penny on and have a washing out, that'll be the flaming day.
No, not like that.
Ah, you can bet your bottom dollar not like that. And don't worry about me neither. I got more than 1 string to my bow.
You won't go back to that, will you?
Who's going to stop me? And hey, what's all this about going back? First I ever heard I gave up.
Listen, only 2 bouts you've had this year. The last one was back in March, and you were finished inside of... All right! All right. I'll be resting, all right? You all the better for that. Oh, I'll be down Ponty Saturday, boy. See old Jim Isaacs. See what he's got lined up down there.
And what did they say?
Nothing there now. Try again next month. I'm not waiting around till then. I'll put in a couple of weeks at the smithy. John Pugh got kicked by Mare when he was shoeing her. He'd be glad of a hand.
Seems only the other day the pits were taking all comers, boys at the farms and everything, and crying out for more.
It's lucky I even got a place so quick.
You know why, don't you? The manager's got his son in his choir.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, well, it's lucky all the same. He'll need every penny he can get with a wife and child and another one on the way. But it do seem very odd having only one of my family underground.
2, Ma'am.
What?
I'm in the nun class. I'm going in as Evo's party starting on Monday.
What is this you're telling me?
I didn't say before in case they wouldn't take me.
Can't do that, boy. Did it all go to waste after passing your exams and everything? No. We'll manage somehow. You've got to keep up with your studies.
Oh, to hell with my studies.
Since when?
Oh, look, I'm 3 years older now than any of you were starting. I don't have a very good reason to sit around here reading books when nothing is coming in and you two are tramping the valleys getting doors slammed on you.
But where's your senses, boy? You have got reason to get out of it, to go to the university and learn, to better yourself.
These two got out of it, didn't they? I'm never so glad in their lives as when they came back. Easton Evans went to university, and what he learned they can keep. Mr. Elijah Jonas bettered himself. I'm not having you going hungry, so I can end up with a posh house and an English voice and cringing with shame of everything I've loved up to now.
You? Now listen to me. You'll be throwing your life away, boy. There's no future in it. Look at me.
Oh, Dad. Do you think I haven't been looking?
Oh, carry out, think. Think, boy, what you are doing.
Ma'am, he knows every ounce of what he's doing. Better than any of us can tell him.
Working last then, is it? I lay won't be looking so brisk when he comes out tonight. Hey, look at your Yorks, boy. You want them tighter than that. Told him what they're for, did you?
Aye, they're to keep the coal dust out of your eyes. Once you hit the bottom now, keep your knees bent.
Yes. Either that or keep your tongue well back behind your teeth. Otherwise it'll end up in 2 bits.
Evo?
Aye.
It's full.
Oh, good. We'll knock off now, then. Tired?
How long have we done?
About 4 hours. We filled 3. That's good. We'll take an hour off.
An hour? Oh, could we go up for it, couldn't we?
A surface, you mean? I can't do that, man. Not till the end of the shift. Have to apply for a ticket in advance before they let you do that. Have a bloody good reason, too. Where'd you leave your box?
Back then.
Come in to eat.
In a minute.
Shall I fetch it here?
Why, please?
Eva! Eva!
What's wrong?
It's got out, I can't see!
All right, now don't worry.
Thank God.
Where do you have it?
It was by there.
Oh, it's out all right. Pity.
Pity?
Well, that's the trouble on this heading. When you lose fire, it's such a long walk back. Here you are. You can have a rest after. Just for this once, I'll go and get it lit for you. Only after today, mind. Your lamp is your job.
Why did it do that?
The roof's a bit soft, Bayer. I'll come better further along. Hey, look, if the glass didn't break, it'd have cost you £6.
It wasn't my fault.
Try telling them that. Go on, get that into you. I should have a sleep after if I was you.
Look at those ones. I think they're nice.
Here you are, lady. 4 each. That's giving them away. Gone like hot cakes today. Only them 3 we got left.
Oh, they are pretty.
Hurry up. It's your last chance now. I'm packing up in 10 minutes.
I love the blue one. There's beautiful.
She'll have the blue one.
You. I haven't seen you for ages. There's the tall you've got. Is that straight to working?
Oh, yes. A couple of months now.
Fancy. Oh, thanks ever so much. Will you pin it on for me? By there, look. Hugh, the actors are coming in September. They'll be at the town hall for 2 nights. Will you take me to the acting when they come, Hugh? Will you? Please?
Take that one upstairs, Mrs. Nicholas, please. I'll manage the hat boxes. Oh, and the big trunk can stay there until tomorrow.
When did you leave London?
This morning.
Oh, why didn't you let me know you were coming?
Well, I didn't know myself.
When will Yeston be here?
He left last night for South Africa.
South Africa? Do you mean he's gone to fight?
Oh, no. Nothing so drastic. He's gone to make money. Something to do with supplying munitions. The whether to the British or the Boers, I couldn't tell, and I don't suppose he cares.
But why? He can't need the money.
Oh, can't he? So can his creditors.
Well, how long will you be staying?
I haven't decided.
Didn't he want you to go with him?
Oh, yes, very much. In fact, last night he tried to be really persuasive. In his own fashion.
Right. Now go and fetch me that other one.
brought some sheets back for you, look. And Taliesin's napkins and binders. Where is he?
In the cot.
Sleep. It's pale you look, Ron. Hard pull of it this time.
It's not the baby. It's good as gold. If Ivor could have seen him. Oh, Mum, there's a difference this time. And there's two of you, all the difference in the world. You were so good to me.
I know.
Just been out the back. There's boots working close still there. You say it gets easier with time, but I don't see it. Evening's the worst. Time would be coming home. Mum.
Ron. Come and stay with us.
No. No. Good of you to ask, though. Boys found work yet?
Well, Yanto started at the ironworks yesterday.
Long old walk for him?
Yeah. And Owen is still at the blacksmith's. And Hugh is going down as Cavarthas for tea. Your best shirt is on the chair.
How do you go today, boy?
Oh, not bad. We were on to us using the night men's timber, though. But we'd have been on stop otherwise, or risk another fall.
Hey, you seem very mean with the timber over there.
The managers blame it on the war, but I don't see how unless they're knocking out the balls with pit props. Has Anghara been over yet?
I don't reckon she's ever going to come over as long as Yanto's here. He said some pretty nasty things to her up in London.
Oh, I lose patience with Yanto sometimes. I mean, look at the way he pitched into Bloodwen Evans. Mild as milk she is, and he had her in tears. And he's just to be spiteful.
It's not spite, ma'am. It's principle the way Yanto sees it. Because of the way Yestin's money was made, and Anghara and Bloodwin buying petticoats and ribbons out of it.
Yeah, well, anyway, she's not going to work up here to be preached at by Yanto. And I don't say I blame her either.
Anyway, Yonder doesn't come old now, it'll go on 8.
Yeah, well, she's not to know that, is she?
Well, she would if somebody go up and tell her.
Well, maybe you could drop in at Tinnercoy tonight if you're passing that way, would you?
Oh, not tonight, ma'am, sorry.
Oh, aye, what's on tonight then?
Oh, didn't you know? Big secrets tonight. Spit and polish all over his boots for half an hour last night before going to bed. Posh beyond.
Well, if Hugh's busy, then, ma'am, I wouldn't mind taking a walk past Tinnercoy myself.
Oh, would you? Listen, Owen, if you would go up and have a word with your sister, well, I would be very grateful.
Yeah, all right, ma'am.
Oh, I think I better change those, eh?
No, you're all right as you are.
No, I think it will change. Where's my best white shirt?
Upstairs in the drawer.
Hey, Dad, can I borrow your pearl cufflinks?
Aye, all right. If you hasn't got them already.
She doesn't complain of anything, just tiredness. She won't see a doctor.
Do you want me to go up and tell her he's here?
Is that what you
No, she might be asleep. No, I was just passing this way, and we'd heard she was back, so... Well, thank you for...
Would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, well...
I'm sure you would. Your mother always gives me one.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yes, Nicky, we'll have some tea, please, and some biscuits. Yes, we'll have the Garibaldis. Thank you, Nicky.
Miss Evans, I'm sorry about what Yanto said to you.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm just so sorry about what Yeston has done to your father and so many others.
It has nothing to do with you, anyway.
No, but I don't suppose he would have known that.
Well, why couldn't he? He only had to look at you.
Well, it was stupid of me to get so upset. I was off my guard. Well, your family have been so kind to me. I come to believe I'd never be hurt in that house.
You never will again if I've got anything to do with it.
Oh, won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Your mother showed me Hugh's pencil box where you mended it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was lucky to match that inlay.
I must have a great deal of patience. You know, you're just as I imagined.
What do you mean, imagine?
Oh, well, from things Anne Harrod told me about
Oh,
you.
yes, yeah. Yes, so what I can't understand is that nobody ever told me about you.
You've nothing to say.
Well, no, I was there in the house when Anne Harrod used to go about Yeston, and I always used to go out the shed and never bothered to listen. I suppose I must have only had a sister, but never thought anything about it.
Why should you?
And here you were all the time, walking around growing up,
Eating, talking to people, getting up in the morning.
Indeed, yes. Very clever of me.
Not 5 miles away, I never knew.
What is it?
Piece of fur.
From Martin. Give it to me.
What for?
And press it in a book and keep it for a souvenir. I'll always remember tonight, you. I'll always be glad you were the first. You. Have you lost respect?
For what?
Me.
No, why?
They say a boy loses respect for you after. Oh, you will say something nice.
Came when you were very warm and kind. And beautiful. And tonight you gave me something magic.
It was nice. Thank you for taking me to the play. Wasn't she wonderful? She was even better than last night. I felt every line going through me. I was saying something with her this time. I'm sure I'll be able to learn parts ever so easy.
There'll be no furrow.
Too late to kick up brows by the time they get my letter. No, they'll try and keep it quiet, I bet, till I start getting famous. Oh, it's coming! You must come and watch me. I'm playing the stage. I'll be in London by that time. I'll have my own little room to change in.
You sure you'll be alright? They will be probably in.
Oh, I don't even care so long as they let me act. It's the one thing I always wanted. That's why I went to ask for autographs. And then the man said about the girl having chickenpox. It was like God answering my prayer. I'm awfully lucky like that. It does answer. I keep on knowing it.
Goodbye.
Oh, you're up all the time, then, Owen, if you didn't see young Harrod.
Well,
Listen, we want to send you up the next time. You won't get any sense.
Everybody's still up then?
Aye, here's another one been out gallivanting, blinking hotel I'm running here. Food if you want it.
Oh, thanks, ma'am. You have fish and chips off the cards, see?
Knows we, I wonder? Here you are, Gwyl. I'll be up in a minute.
All right, then. Good night.
All right, then. What's this for?
If you can read that rubbish tonight, you can do it upstairs, for once. And you can go after him as soon as you like.
No.
Oh, go on, I want to have a bit of quiet, have a chat with this one by ear.
All right. What's he been up to this time, then?
Goodness knows. Some mischief you can mentor. But go on now, shoot.
Good night, then. Night, ma'am. Night.
What am I supposed to have done then?
Oh, Caroline, nothing. It's what I want you to do. I was down at Bronze again this afternoon.
Oh, how is she?
Oh, going quieter, Carrie, and thinner. Not bothering to put her hair tidy or cook for herself or anything. Empty she is. If she goes on like that, she'll be down in the grave with him inside of 6 months.
Well, what can we do?
Well, now, I have had a talk with your father, and we think if you were to take your mattress and your clothes down and live with Bron, now she would have someone to do for, and it would stop her sinking back the way she is now. And you see, she would have your money to keep her going till Gareth and Tal are a bit older. You willing?
Well, I'm willing, but what did Bron say?
No, why not?
Couldn't take you away from your mum.
It was Mum said it.
See?
She said to tell you she's finding 5 to cook for and 3 lots of working clothes to wash. It's getting a bit heavy for her.
Yes, I can imagine her putting it that way round.
Well?
Not much comfort here for anyone anymore. Not like it used to be.
Well, it's all right for me.
Taliesin's off awake a lot at nights. You need your sleep if you're underground.
Oh, don't worry about that. Trying to keep up with Cafartha down there, I could sleep through earthquakes.
I don't know.
Look, you're going to have somebody in lodging, see, Bron, or taking washing. And it's better if it's somebody you're used to, see?
I was thinking in the middle of the night. If only for the kids' sake, I can't go on like that.
Good. Hey, Bron?
What?
Well, come on then. Have a cup of tea?
Hugh. Well,
no better?
Have I been ill?
You've been better, isn't it, when he came?
Oh, I see. It was only a headache.
Mum's been worrying.
I did intend to write. Tell her
Tell her what?
if she'd like to come over one day, she'd be very welcome. I could send the carriage for her.
Aren't you ever coming to us?
No.
Because of Yanto?
Yant would only be saying to my face what the whole street is saying behind my back. Why should I go down and hack my way through all that? Besides, it's all hypocrisy. There's not 1 in 100 of them would have turned down Yeston if they'd had the chance of him.
Well, Bloodwind's been down and she's his sister.
Oh, Bloodwin they will forgive. She's a lost soul who has seen the light, not one of their own who's turned their back on it.
I see you won't be coming then.
There's only one good thing about having money, Hugh. You can put distance between yourself and most kinds of unpleasantness.
Oh, anybody can do that if they just keep running.
Well, how are they all?
Oh, very well, thanks.
You could take down the presents I brought back from London. That one's yours.
Martin Lisemore.
I remembered how much you enjoyed reading David Copperfield. I believe somebody lent it to you at one time.
Why are you talking like that? You know he did. It was Mr. Griffith.
How is he, Hugh?
Not like he was.
He's not ill, is he?
Oh, no. He's not able to have a doctor. He works very hard and he's still first up and last to bed. And he's closed himself off inside. Same as you are.
All right, thank you. That's enough. You've told me now. Could you show my brother out, Mrs. Nicholas, please?
I suppose we'll be having the whole tribe up here before long.
And if you can't cure yourself of passing personal remarks about my guests, I shall have to ask Enid to answer the door.
Yes, Mrs. Evans. I bear it in mind, Mrs. Evans.
I understand you're staying with Bronwyn now. How is she?
Oh, looking a bit better. Taking notice of the baby, too.
Well, he could do more for her than any of us ever could.
Oh, I don't know. She said those first 2 days you started going mad. Do you know Angharad, Tinnacoid?
Yes. How is she?
She's altered a lot.
Well, it's hardly surprising. All that travel, new experience, bound to have an effect.
She's down here on her own. Oh, she's miserable.
I can do nothing, Hugh.
Oh, well, she won't listen to me, that's a sure thing. If she was in her body, I could ask her doctor. She's miserable in her mind, Mr. Griffith. So we must ask her minister. And that is you, isn't it?
Big night tonight, wasn't it? Hey! We celebrating, is it? How'd you get on down there, then? You win?
One! Good night, Galartha!
Oh, yes. Martin Fletcher.
Aye! We got in 3 bells. Some of them money, you see, boy. Charm, they were right.
What's the matter, then? Is you hurt bad? Oh, now, come on now, mate. Cheer up. Can't be hurt that bad if he's still on his feet.
Oh, something of come to my eyes, Jan.
Come on, Ty.
It was a beautiful concert. I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
I'm saying I don't remember. The wind's kind of cold all of a sudden. Have you got a shawl or something we could borrow?
Oh, there's that nice woman in the chest on the landing.
Right, thanks.
Come on, Miss Evans, sit down. Thank you. Oh, you're back.
I just seen Daibando.
Oh, why? How did you get on?
He's blind. Shouldn't have blinded him.
Oh, dear Griff, I no.
See, Kevaltha said that Shunny gave him a terrible blow on the side of the head. Well, Di knocked him out with his next one, but everything out blind he was by then.
What a terrible thing to happen. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yes. It's easy enough to say sorry. If the plant had been closed, he would still have been working. He wouldn't have needed the money. He would never have been standing up with Shunny in the first place.
What are you saying to her?
Nothing. Just the truth. And I would like to know what she is doing around here so often. You reckon your sister have made such a brilliant match you want to copy her?
Look, you all! Both of you! You would like to know, would you? Well, there are things I would like to know, too. Like, what gives you the right to be so nasty to people? What makes you think you can sit in judgment over a man like Owen who's worth 10 of you? Why should he want to copy anybody? Why, he's more ideas in his head than the rest of you people put together.
Look, I am not
and if you are trying to say that he is just after my money, then you're not only being nasty but stupid. Because I've got less money than he has. And if you think that what Angharad has done is so wrong...
Angharad knows what I think.
If you think it's so wrong, then aren't you ashamed of yourself for letting her do it?
Well, how the hell could I stop her?
Right enough. And how could I stop a Yestin? Will you take me home now, please, Owen?
Good night then, Yanto.
Good night.
Oh, dear.
But who is he? What's his name?
Hamilton. Looks like Garfield Hamilton. Anyway, he's come over from America and he says if I'll go up to London to meet him, he'll pay the fare.
Wonder what he wants. You haven't any relations in America, have you?
Oh, no, none at all.
And where you got your name and address from?
Well, I suppose from when me and Yanto was working up there. I don't know who gave it to him, though.
It's rather exciting, though, isn't it? Do you think he'll go?
Oh, I'll have to go and find out what it's all about.
When?
He says someday this week because he's going back on the 10th. I think I'll go up on Monday. All right.
I'm very much afraid. Yes, I'm afraid you've got me again.
Dinner. Are you coming back then?
Well, I don't know till I know what he wants. Not tonight, anyway. He says in his letter he'll pay for overnight expenses.
Aye, for when though?
Well, that's right, Yanto paying his own.
Oh, what put it into your head to go flying off? I can't imagine. So, what girl you've got up there from last time?
Ma, I've had a couple of days off, that's all. I've earned a bit of a rest anyway. Besides, I want to know what the Yankee wants without a win.
Well, that's what I put up for you. Doesn't look like much, but you would go off on washing day, wouldn't you? Tomorrow night at bake.
There's plenty now, Mum, honest. Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Good-night, Mum.
Goodbye.
Brother.
Now take care, both of you.
All right, look after yourself. See you tomorrow then. Hey, got money on you, have you? Well, mind if the sheets aren't damp then. Oh, I don't know. Those boys.
Mum!
Oh, hello.
Why didn't you send word you were coming? I would have sent the carriage.
Oh, never mind about that. But when? Oh, there you are. Oh, I've got to sit down.
Well, yes, of course. Yeah, anywhere.
I had to come and see you. We've had news. From Owen? No, both of them.
What is it?
I know. You've heard too.
Heard what?
This came for me just now. I took it into the garden to read.
Oh, God love you. You've been crying.
Please, will somebody tell me what's happened?
Owen and Yanto are going to America.
America? When?
End of the week. They're not coming back at all. Not ever anymore.
But why? Well, Owen's had the most wonderful offer. They're sinking a new pit out there and he's to go over to be in charge and to advise. And Mr. Hamilton has taken a patent out for him.
That's right. Now, they wrote that to us too, but what does it mean?
Well, it's the way he showed them in London for turning the drams more quickly. And it saves a lot of time and money. And now anyone who copies his idea must pay. Well, it's here. Read it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, plot twin, I'm so sorry. Does that mean you'll never see him again?
Oh.
Angharad, dear. It's you I might never see again. I'm going up to London tomorrow. He wants me to marry him Friday.
But Friday, well, you can't, can you?
Yes, by special license.
In an old registry office and everything. For shame, Owen. Are you willing for that?
Oh, I'm willing and proud to marry him however and whenever he wants. Oh, I'm sorry we'll be so far away, but I
will write often, and I'll make sure that he does too. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm glad it'll be you and not somebody you'll meet over there that we'll never clap eyes on. There was me thinking it was grief you were trying for. Well, I'm going into the town now to send him a telegram. And, well, I won't be long. You will be here when I come back, won't you? Yes. Oh, good.
Excuse me. Has somebody ordered the carriage?
Yes, Nicky, I did.
Well, he's round the front here now.
Oh, I'll tell him. I'll be 3 minutes. What's the matter with Glenys, then?
Glenys? You mean Mrs. Nicholas?
Glenys Barry, she was in school before Harry Nicholas ever heard of her.
I suppose she thinks she ought to have run and waited to be announced.
Do you think I'm going to go tinkling bells and waiting for her to prance down in that silly-looking apron before I walk into my own daughter's house? She must think I'm top. Well, then. Is that true he gets drunk?
Who?
Who? How many husbands have you got, then?
Sometimes he does.
True he knocks you about?
Ma'am, this is my business.
All right, my lady.
Where have you been getting these stories from?
Well, that's my business then, isn't it?
Oh, ma'am.
That Glenys Parry is the chopsiest girl in the school. She hasn't changed a bit. With that one in the house, you couldn't buy a new pair of drawers without it being all over the town.
How's Dad?
Not you care. Why have you been up then?
I don't know. I don't think I could bear it. I've made a mess of everything. You don't have to tell me.
I've been sitting here looking at you, trying to think you were the same little girl that used to scrub the floors and clean the brasses and go and meet your dad coming from work and take his boots off. No. There was always a little bit inside you that never belonged to us. And now you're gone. Father away the knowing and Yanto everywhere. Oh, well. Never mind.
That's right, ma'am. Never mind.
You will always know, if anybody says anything about you or any of us can hear them, they can look out.
I know that.
Well then. Now I've found my way here. Perhaps I'll come again.
Nice letters from both the boys. And this by here is from Blodwyn out of a bouquet. Flowers and all, see, Beth? Shows a proper wedding.
Was there a screed from Yanto then?
Oh, he's on here about Abraham Lincoln. More equality there, he thinks. No kings and lords, he says. And more room.
It ought to be a wonderful country indeed, with all our best boys going up there to build it. But I don't know what's coming to this place.
Oh, come on, Beth, girl. You should be proud of them.
Too quick. I said goodbye to them for London, not America.
Well, goodbye's goodbye, eh?
I wouldn't have sent them to America with a couple of beef sandwiches and a bit of old cake. I'd have put off the washing. I'd have said different things.
Oh, don't go on about it now, can you? It's a bit quiet, is it?
The day will come when you'll find me always quiet. Let's hope you have a proper goodbye.
Oh, Beth. It's a nasty old thing to say to me.
Goodbye then, Miss Richards. Thanks again.
You're welcome indeed. Goodbye now.
Well, he's spending his money on flowers.
He's not. We passed his allotment on the way home from the chapel and he went in and picked me some.
And where'd he give them to you? What's he want?
I think he wants to marry me.
I don't think you ought to have taken them.
Why not?
He's a decent enough man. No need to go encouraging him when he's just wasting his time.
Hugh, 2 children I've got, isn't it? And Taliesin is walking already. The older they get, the more they cost. I have to think of what is best for them.
And Ivo?
He would have wanted me to do what is best for them too.
Oh, would he? So soon?
It's over a year.
Aye, and it's less than 2. Take this for a start about the children. I stayed in with them willingly on a Sunday for you to go to chapel. But if you're just dressing up for old souls to look at you and talk to you and walk you home as an end of it. I'm not staying for that.
Oh, Hugh. Why not? Come and sit down and ask yourself, why not?
I don't want to sit down.
Well, all right, stand then. But still ask yourself. It's because of you I'm doing this quicker than I would want.
Because of me?
It's not right. It's not good for you. You should be out looking for a girl. Since that kind one left, there's been nobody.
You just haven't happened to meet anybody that interests me, that's all.
No, well, if you're contented to stay in every evening, you won't, will you?
Look, what are you getting at?
You carried. I'm not blind.
Oh, this is ridiculous. It's not even worth thinking about. Wouldn't even be legal, anyway. To see his brother's wife, it'd be like him and his sister.
Laws are all right to stop people doing things, but can't live in what goes on in your mind.
I don't know how you can say such terrible things. Have I ever said a word out of place? Too much respect.
I know. I know that if you stay here another 20 years, nothing would ever happen unless I let it. But I've seen you look at me sometimes.
All right, if we must talk about it.
Yes, I think it is time we did.
Aye, well, if it comes to that, I've seen you look at me too.
Only in the beginning?
I feel like in the beginning.
No, in the beginning when I was so hungry and thirsty for Ivor. Couldn't keep my eyes away. The way you laced the boots, that was Ivor. The way your hair grew back of your neck, that was Ivor. Just standing there, hanging up your jacket. Could have been him. Colour of your eyes. Even till you cough, it was him.
God.
As soon as I was strong enough, as soon as I saw you notice, I stopped, didn't I?
Oh, God, Bron. But I swear to God, I mean, there's nothing that... Oh, you know.
Yes, Carriot. I know. And I'm grateful. Those first few months you saved my life. If it hadn't been for you and the kids, I'd have jumped in the river a dozen times. It is getting too comfortable this way for both of us if we let it, and it is wrong. The way you flew out to me just now about the flowers, as if I owed it to you to explain, that shows, that's proof that it's no good. Oh, Carriot, it's very nice for me. It's lovely. It'd be very easy to go on like this. Much harder to find another man and get to know him. Build something together. This is no shape for you, a life to take. I'm not going to let you.
A pint, please, Di.
Hey! I see you walk over there.
Aye, that's it.
Hey, come on. Good new customer over there, boy.
How are you managing now?
Oh, right as rain. We over and stayed out for a couple of weeks ago. Showed me the ropes, like. Kavarth comes in the night, and Tom Bainer comes in the afternoon. Give me a hand, like.
How do you know when it's full?
Oh, damn me, boy, I've been listening to that sweet music for 30-odd years. Want to know the tune by now, did I?
There. Did you see it?
But I saw something white.
Well, that was it. You can see it most evenings around this time.
What is it? A ghost?
It's a barn owl.
It's getting colder. You better come in by the fire.
Yes.
And I'd better be going home.
Yes. Do you remember when you put your hand on the window frame?
Oh, I remember everything.
How much of it do you regret?
I think it would be better if we don't begin to analyze.
What shall we do then?
Nothing. I'm going home. In a minute.
Yes, Cariad. You mean everything stays as it is? Is that what you think?
Well, I wouldn't call it thinking. How do you think I'm capable of that? When I was a boy, I fell out of a tree. I remember lying there, feeling no pain, and thinking to myself, something is broken. If I make no move, it won't begin to hurt.
And was something broken?
Yes, my wrist that time.
Will you come again on Friday?
You know I will.
Do you think I ought to invite some other people as well?
Well, it would be wiser.
Do you want me to do that then?
I should hate it.
So would I.
You won't, will you?
No.
She'll be coming in a minute.
Yes. She'll be wondering why I hadn't rung for the lamps. She's out there waiting.
With a flaming sword, the unlikeliest of angels. Oh, well. Good night.
I'll see you to the door.
Oh, must I go that way? She'll be there. She always is. One look and half a dozen words, just enough to put a foul taste over everything. I'm sorry. I don't think I can face that tonight.
I'll see you to the gate then.
You'll get cold.
No, I won't.
You know, as true as I'm standing here every night very near, and who knows what goes on in bed I am. My candle out.
Say nothing of our poor young husband out in Cape Town, bleeding for his country. The slut from a coal mine, fouling his home while his back is turned. Bad enough, whoever the man was. But for one who calls himself a man of God, what is the world coming to, Mr. Jones?
And the greatest of these is charity. Without charity, I am nothing. And where there is no charity, piety turns into sanctimoniousness, and the worship of God degenerates into meaningless ritual. And our proper concern, to guide our brothers in Christ away from error and towards the light, is debased into a sordid and lip-licking eagerness to turn over every stone and sniff into every corner in the hope that we may unearth the sins of others and publish them abroad. And where no sin is known to exist, to rake through the darker corners of our own mind and publish the squalid images we see there in others, in the vain hope that in this way we may be purged of them. Let us pray together that God will grant us all, through his grace, the great and blessed gift of charity.
You know what Reese was saying back there? No. Said the coal owners are asking for a 10% cut. It can't be. God's true. Cut it off, Jack. Well, that's the end of it then. The man will never sit down after that. 10% in one go. What are they trying to do?
Morgan! Oi! Morgan!
Go.
Hey. Have you heard what they're asking for?
Father was just saying.
Well, time to show on now, right, boyo? I vote we all down tools, no messing about. Come on.
There's a committee meeting on Thursday. If that's true, I'm certainly going to vote to give in notice.
Look, never mind vote, and never mind bloody committee neither. We ought to walk out now and shut the damn place down till they come to their senses. Aye. And if it looks like dragging on same as it did last time, there's only one thing for it. And that's stick a bloody dynamite in the shaft and to hell with them all.
I'll see what good that'll do.
Oh, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, huh?
Hey, well, what you were saying in front of him, going it long, that back?
Oh, he's a top man, Yanto Morgan's brother.
A couple of years back, that was. But the whole family's gone down a drain since then. They're only got hoot to the heavens is now, second
You leave my family out of this.
Are you going to down tools then, eh?
Look, all I'm saying is you've got a federation now, so why not go about it in the right way?
See? Not anymore. Cut above it now, oh aye. Oh, God knows what you've got a crow about. That sister he was. Running after every preacher in the district. I had supposed to be a married woman.
like that every day of the week. And if they used to call them all assault and battery, there'd be queues from the courtroom stretching right round to the ironmongers.
Ash, girl, I'm trying to read by you.
Well, what's it say then?
The case was dismissed as it was felt that Master Morgan's action was excusable on account of the nature of the provocation he was offered. Namely, the reference to Master Morgan's sister, married woman, and a well-known local preacher.
Oh, it's masterly. Nothing is said and everything is implied.
I still don't understand why Ivan charged me. He was only a black eye and he's had plenty of fights before, but he's never summoned anybody.
Ivan John's father works for Elias. Elias put pressure on his son. Oh, Hugh, it's not you he's after. Look.
On interview, Mr. Elias said that such references to the minister of Calvaria naturally come as a great shock to him. But there would be a meeting of deacons at the earliest opportunity. Old hypocrite. Have they had the meeting yet?
No.
Will it go against you?
Elias has asked me to leave 3 times. I have refused. Last time the voting was 7-4 in my favour. This time it's bound to go against me, but it makes no difference. I have resigned.
Mr. Griffith, I wish I could say how sorry I am.
Oh, don't say that. God knows I'm not a man given to violence. But if anybody had said those things to me about Angharad, I would have hit him twice as hard.
Where will you go?
I don't know. Further away the better. I'm glad you've called in. I've got something for you. 2 things. The prospectus from Oxford. I didn't tell you, but I sent away for it. I know. I still had a forlorn hope that you might be able to sit it if things are better. Obviously, they're getting worse. Anyway, it's easy to cancel. And this. It was my father's. He gave it to me when I entered the ministry. I should like you to have it. It has marked time that I have loved. Do you remember the daffodils, Hugh?
Oh, Mr. Griffith.
Don't shake hands. We will live in each other's minds. Goodbye, Hugh. May God bless you.
He was crying.
Angharad.
Will he blame me because you're going? Will he hate me?
Oh, no. I have had many failures in this place, but he is not one of them.
I've destroyed you. Say something, please. Tell me I haven't.
I was the destroyer. I should have listened to you.
To me?
Years ago. It seemed to me too precious what you were offering. I didn't feel so worthy. You know, maybe too much of that kind of humility is a sacrilege. It's ungracious. As if we should reject the earth and the sky because they are more beautiful than we deserve.
Talking about God again.
Angharad, do not begrudge me God. He is all I shall have left. Besides, he's the only solid thing about me now. If I betray him now, I shall be of no use to anyone, least of all to you.
You say that's all you'll have left. I shall have nothing at all. I shall go back to Iestyn. I shall turn into ice.
No. No, there is no danger you will ever do that. You will go back to Iestyn. You will learn ways to stand up to him and fight him and make a man out of him instead of a spoiled child. You know, if you put your whole mind to that, he wouldn't stand a chance against you. And you know it. And Angharad, when you remember me, please try and forgive me.
For what?
For being 40 when you were 19. and for imagining that all I'd accumulated in that decade was wisdom. God help me.
God help me, too.
Hey, you heard what's happened?
No.
What? Tom Corkin's called out the safety men.
Good God almighty. Christ, that'll shake him.
Well, who's going to?
Who's in the room?
Manager, two of the clerks.
What, stalking?
Aye, and the shirt sleeves sweating like pigs. Fans still working. Nobody's watching it. Same with the pumps.
Say what you like about Corkin, he certainly knows some action.
Better idea than dynamite elephant, boys.
He wanted the flamers out on us for 5 months this time, or they'll have no bloody pit left.
Right. Well, that's all very well. We won't either, will we? Gives a pint.
Well, the bosses will give in, man, Jack.
I better hurry up. Reese says the pump at Nad Glass is fouled already. Muck coming up with the water.
Well, they're taking the pumps out of yesterday's pit as well?
Well, from what I've heard, they're all out.
Could be trouble, that end, man. With the water coming through. Nad Glass can never cope with a double lot.
God damn, he's right. Have Tom thought of that? Well, how the hell do I know?
Well, go and tell him.
Who, me?
Aye, man.
Look, there's half a dozen mad flamers jumping on the box, one after the other, shouting the odds, getting them all worked up. Look, I'm telling you, if you try to walk out of that yard with coal dust on your boots, they'd be stringing you up for a black leg.
Aye? We'll see about that.
Oh, don't be so tough, man.
Where are you going, Will?
No, look at that pump, man. Anything wrong this end, I can fix it and be back in an hour. If it's over at Nad Glass, I can be back in 4.
I'll never let you pass the pickets, man.
Hey, Quill, if anybody's going down, he wants a younger man, man.
All right, then, welcome. Who am I starting down for?
You can get him chucked out of the union, see, Gwilla. Hard to get work after. I got kids to think of, boy.
Aye. And all mine are grown. Now, what about Ivan? He's a bachelor. Oh, I know, but once we get tagged as a boss's man, that'll stick to you like a bad smell all your life. Aye, so it's lucky I'm retired. I've got no boss any longer.
Look, they'll never let you through, Gwill. That's all there is to it.
Look, Jack. I've got nothing against Tom Corkin, except sometimes he opens his mouth and he gets drunk and the noise that comes out of it. He's gone too far this time, man. Who the hell does he think he is? Samson? Putting the bloody temple down on top of him? Somebody ought to tell him. It's not the Philistines he'll be smashing. It's his own people, man. And if I say I'm going on that pit, it'll take more than him to stop me. He was digging coal when he was in his bloody cradle, man.
William.
Aye.
Wait for me.
Come on. What have you got to lose, man? You want to shut this place for good? Is that what you're after? Send for my son-in-law. I'll give you lessons in closing pits.
Easy on, Willie.
Oh, for God's sake, man. Just to keep the water down. What have you got to lose?
All right. Let him through.
There's up this end of that.
Thank God for that.
Don't think the company fractured, though. No. Probably clogged up a bit at the end, more like.
Yes.
See, it's rising very slowly. I'll soon fix that.
Just as well we come through, though. Don't like the look of that wall.
I can't understand what made him go down there.
I think all of us over the last few years have started to forget what sort of man your father is.
Oh, but there were hundreds of them there. Why did it have to be him?
You all right now, Willie?
Aye. Should be now. Oh, dear. Well, how what I said? Oh, now, look. Not bad.
Not bad.
Come on in, boy. Okay, all right, kid. All right. Absolutely never. Hey. You're back.
You here?
Yes, Dad.
No, I've had enough of this. If you're going too long, there's no sense in it. I'm going down after him. Will you take me?
Aye. Mum? Stay with her, bro.
Hugh! Be careful.
That's enough. We got plenty in there. Anybody trying to stop me, you will get this.
So whoever's my friend better keep back. When did I go?
Ron. What is it? When I was at the wash house, no jest.
Yes.
Before it came.
Ma'am.
Don't I know my own son? Saw him clear as daylight. He smiled at me. I smiled at him. And he nodded his head.
Is it there, is it, Bud? Right. Alice, my pig. Right, come on, great boy.
Oh, Mum, fach, your hands are cold. Shall I build up the fire?
Ready, Ash, back there! Haste! Praise God. Praise God, let it be Martha. Let it be a lie wagon. Because you know God, He's the blood of my heart. Mind the roof, Daddy. To hell with the soggy roof. Come on, sir! You all right?
Still in one piece?
Where there?
He's gone awful still, don't he? He's still breathing.
Back out! Back out!
The water's gone down now. But will I fetch pip props now then? Dad? Oh.
Today?
Oh, getting a bit better all the time.
Oh, good. When's your exam then?
A week tomorrow.
You know, it's a funny thing. I can remember when you were all in, used to be messing about in that old shed in the back. And no one would ever have thought that one day you'd be sending enough money home to send you through college. Will you pass, do you think? Present for you. This one from Gareth. Oh. And this from Taliesin. He's not up to much, I'm afraid, but he did his best.
Where are they?
Oh, they're out the back there. I was wondering if I could leave them here for a couple of hours. I want to start the spring cleaning.
Oh, yes, yes, of
Oh,
course.
thanks, Ma'am. I don't know how we'd manage without you.
Yeah, I thought for a bit there would all of you have had to manage indeed. But you know, last week I remembered something your father used to say. God will never let anybody go home until they've finished their stint. Oh, no, blema bitte. Dir bitte.
Indeed.